You want results like this? Pretty nice. And you want to see how I did that? Stay tuned. Welcome back, Rednecks. Welcome to number 3 of the video series on how to build a motorcycle. We already went over a little bit on how to paint. In the last video, you've seen the paint on the frame itself and a little bit of prep work and stuff on the frame. This time I'm actually going to show you guys what I used to actually paint. You're going to be kind of surprised. I didn't get actual video when I was painting the bike, but I have a little bit of video of the prepping of the tank and stuff like that. So I'm going to kind of go over with a little bit of commentary with some pictures in this video so you guys get the idea. I'm also going to be in a later video, probably coming out this week. I'm going to be painting, if we can see it back there on the wall. I got a fender back there, so I'm going to go through step by step on how to prepare it, how to sand it, how to do the body work, how to paint it, and how to buff it out and get professional results using nothing but rustoleum. Alright, that's starting to smooth out. This is, I'm using 60 grit on the orbital sander. Yeah, I was trying it over here on the actual paint. Even with the 60 grit, man, this paint is tough. It's not even coming off at all. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with the stripper. And take the paint off that way, and then I'll go back over it with the 60 grit first and get all the rest of the paint and all the old Bondo and stuff off of it, and then I'll go ahead and switch down to a finer core sandpaper and get it all smooth before I start doing all the filler work and stuff, and get this thing smoothed out. It's a lot of work on these old Fat Boy tanks, but should be worth it in the end. It's going to be a real nice look. All these spots you see right here are actually surface rust. I don't know if you've seen in the pictures before with this is where it was all bubbling up. So we have to get all this rust out. Whenever you're doing an old tank like this, you want to actually get all the paint off, go down all the way to the bare metal, because if you don't, there could be spots of rust that are actually hiding under the paint and stuff. And if you go ahead and paint it again, you know, a couple years down the road, all this stuff's going to start coming up through the paint again, and then it's going to flake your paint, and your paint's going to look like shit, and you don't want that. So it's better to do, you know, a good job with the prep work now. That way you have a nice paint job later. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up on the sanding here. I'm going to go ahead and put some stripper on here, get the paint all stripped off, and then get it to this point here and pause the video and we'll come back later. That's right. Ta-da! Rustoleum. So, yeah, I actually used Rustoleum to get the finish on the bike. This stuff is enamel paint, and it's really hard, and it works really well. If you want to do a paint job on the cheap, professional results, you can absolutely use Rustoleum. As you can see from the tank on my bike, I actually did the frame, the tank, the wheels, everything with this stuff. It's very durable. Used this brand right here, the Rustoleum, just the plain old white can. Actually, I didn't use flat, I used gloss, but I like this kind better. The stops rust with the regular white can. This stuff will actually work too, but I actually have had better results with this. This stuff will work in a pinch. This is more like with a primer in it also. I like just the paint. I like to go ahead and use primer separately. And then this right here, this stuff is really cool. This is the Frosted Pearl from Rustoleum. This is how I got these effects here on the tank with the pearl, with the outline of with the flame in it. This is using this. I used like I would say 4 or 5 coats of this over the vinyl stickers, and then I pulled the vinyl stickers off and left the black underneath it. And then I used just this stuff right here, which is the crystal clear enamel from the Rustoleum. I put like 10 coats of this stuff on. I put like 2 coats on, and then I would sand it down with like 600 wet and dry. I would sand it until to get it smooth, and then put a couple more coats on. This stuff right here, this is the automotive enamel. This stuff I don't really recommend. You can use this stuff. This stuff works really good, but with this stuff, you have to use this and wait at least 2 days before you put any more on. I learned this the hard way. What happens is, if you use this and you wait, say, a day between coats, and then you want to spray some more on, the paint will actually crinkle up. You get a crinkled effect. I actually used the crinkle effect in my design on the tank. Made it look really cool, but you wouldn't want to use this if you're just using for like a solid color or whatever. I would use, like I said, just the white can, because you can come back as soon as this tacks off. You can go back and you can put another coat on. A day later, the stuff dries really fast. I actually have been able to wet sand this right here the day after I put it on. Was able to put my clear coat. Another thing is with this brand here, you can use the clear coat anytime you want also. You don't have to wait like as you would this. So like if you use this and you sprayed it and then you want to go ahead and use the clear right away, you're not going to be able to do that because it's going to crinkle again even with the clear. So I don't really like using this stuff. It's kind of finicky. They say, oh, automotive brand for this, what they use for cars. I don't know what they put in it, but I don't like it. I like just the regular stuff. And like I said, this has the primer and stuff in it. You can use it if you want. I've used it if I wasn't gonna, like on my buggy and stuff, I use this. I didn't want to put clear coat over that, so I used this because I needed a lot of paint because it was a big buggy. So I just went ahead and used this because I wasn't going to wet sand it or anything. This you can actually use, and I've used it before. I've got this in the gallon can, and I've used it. I've painted cars with it before, And you can actually wet sand this stuff down, which I'll actually show you in another video when we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint a fender from start to finish in the next video. So you guys get to see how to do that. So I just wanted to show you guys the paint I use for this and the results I got from using it. I've done it before and I'll do it again. I stand behind it. Now one thing I want to mention is this clear coat right here is not, I repeat, not gasoline safe. So you're not going to want to put this on your gas tank and then just leave this all by itself. You can actually use a couple layers of wax and stuff that'll help, but if any drips get on it, you're going to eat a hole in this. It's going to mess up your paint. You're going to have to buff it back out. But there is a solution. We put this on the tank, you know, build up the layers or whatever, and then the last couple layers we're going to want to put this stuff on. This right here is the fast drying polyurethane from Minwax. This stuff, I've tested it out. It does resist gasoline, and it will not eat it or anything. So I'll use this stuff to build it up, get a nice thick layer of clear coat on it, and then on the last couple coats I will go ahead and put the Minwax fast drying polyurethane on it. That way I don't have to worry about gas dripping out on the tank or whatever. And this stuff will polish up with the wet and dry. I mean the wet sanding and color sanding and buffing it out. So I just wanted to show you guys that. There's also other cool designs and stuff. We'll get into that you can use with different colors of this stuff. So that's how we did it.